The road. Call us toll free or visit kidneycar.ca.
Welcome to Out of the Fog. I'm Melissa Royle Critch. I'm thrilled to let you know that I am this year's honorary chair of the Bowl for Kids' Sake, which is the biggest fundraiser for Big Brothers Big Sisters. And so to talk about that event and the programs that they provide, we have Kelly Leach, the executive director of Big Brothers Big Sisters, as well as big brother Danny and little brother Nathan. Then we chat with Charlie Murphy. He's one of the co-founders of Quadrangle, which is a community organization trying to create a space for queer and trans members of our community. And he's here to chat about what's next for that organization. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with those guests.
You're watching Rogers TV, St. John's.
It isn't the heavy trays that make the job difficult, or the fast pace you need to keep up. It's not working another double because someone called in sick. What makes the job tough is the moment you realize a customer has had enough and you have to make that decision not to overserve. Refusing service isn't personal, it's the law. We know it's not easy, but we're counting on you to keep us all safe. Thank you, servers, for doing the tough job.
You're watching Rogers TV, St. John's.
Welcome back to Out of the Fog. This year, I have the distinct privilege of acting as the honorary chair for the Bowl for Kids' Sake fundraiser for Big Brothers Big Sisters. So here to talk about that event as well as the programs offered by Big Brothers Big Sisters, I have Kelly Leach, the executive director, and a big brother and a little brother, Danny and Nathan. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us, Melissa.
Thank you.
So the event is coming up quick. I'm so delighted to be involved as I am. But for anyone who doesn't know about Bowl for Kids' Sake, what is that event?
Well, first, Melissa, we're thrilled to have you as our honorary chair this year. Bowl for Kids' Sake has been around for quite a long time. Some of the listeners now are probably remembering it as Bowl for Millions, and it runs right across Canada. For us, it's our largest annual fundraiser, and it's happening this year, May 1st to 7th. And, you know, it's a fun event, right? Like, who doesn't love some glow bowling? Teams and sponsors are needed. You know, they come together and come and bowl at Holiday Lanes in May and raise the funds we need to sustain our programs.
And we'll get into some of the other programs a bit later, but for now, kind of the Big Little program, the Big Brothers Big Sisters program, that's the hallmark of your organization. Kind of in broad strokes, how does that work?
Right, well, that's what most people know about. Volunteers come in and we call them bigs, and they get matched in a friendship with a young person that we refer to as the little. You know, that's our core program. It's been around for 45 years here in Metro St. John's. And Danny and Nathan, they're one of our big and little matches, as we would refer to them. It's a fantastic program. You know, volunteers step up to come in and to make a one-year commitment to get involved and to participate in activities with a child right here in their community.
And Nathan, as one of these littles that you've been involved in this organization, what types of things do you and Danny do together?
Once we went to Action Climb, and that was really fun. And we also went to archery, and that was probably one of my favorite ones we did.
Oh, cool. Did you learn how to shoot an arrow?
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. And how long have you both been matched together?
I feel like it was June.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
so you're coming up on a year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. And so, Danny, what brought you into the organization to volunteer?
Yeah, it was always something I was interested in maybe get involved with. There wasn't a division in Central where I was working previously. So when I moved out to St. John's, I was just eager to look for an opportunity to give back, and Big Brothers Big Sisters was a really great chance for that.
And as a volunteer, what do you think you've, I guess, learned or taken from the experience so far?
Well, it's been everything we've done, as Nathan said. I don't typically go to Action Climb or Narrows Archery every weekend, so we've just been having a lot of fun doing different things, getting to know each other, and yeah, it's just been great getting to know him and be a positive influence in his life, I think, in some ways. I think I am.
Is he a positive influence?
Yeah.
And I heard you played soccer pretty recently.
Yeah, I like soccer mainly because I was on a team over the summer.
Oh, great. So you like practicing soccer? Hopefully maybe you'll be even better on your team next summer.
Yeah.
That's fun. And so this type of organization, I mean, obviously a lot of volunteer work goes into it, but you know, any organization that requires volunteers still needs money. So I guess how important is the funding for that comes through the Bowl for Kids event for this type of programming?
So Melissa, last year we matched 516 young people right here in Metro St. John's in one of our programs. Our agency does not have any guaranteed funding, and you know, this is critical, really, you know, to speak about what the funding means. Every year we have to raise about $500,000 right now to sustain our programs. So, you know, we do fundraising events, and really they account for probably about 65% of the annual budget. So this is the flagship fundraiser of the year. It's what we say it's the most important fundraiser of the year. It's one that anybody of any age can participate in. And all the funds that come in from Bowl for Kids Aid go right into our programs so that, you know, we can match more young people just like Nathan. We always say we want to end the wait because, of course, there is a wait list. There's a wait list of kids every day that are just there, you know, hoping that they're soon going to get a call from Big Brothers Big Sisters to say, we finally have a big brother or a big sister for you. Some kids can wait a year or more, and you know, our goal is to really end that wait. And so we need the money, you know, to sustain the programs and to match the kids.
And what are the ages, or you know, the kind of where do you find the kids to be involved?
So we match children between the age of 6 and 17. So a lot of them right now for the community-based program are self-referred. So, you know, the families will contact us on their own. Sometimes they might get referred by a school and they would say they're interested. We do have school-based mentoring programs as well. And those are great for people to volunteer with minimal time. And then those kids get referred, you know, through their school as well. So, you know, no matter how old you are or how young you are in terms of, you know, people who want to volunteer, there's an opportunity, right? Like I get asked many times, am I too old to volunteer? You know, and we love having people come to us who are, you know, mature adults who have a lot of life experience to offer a child. So we encourage people to think about it, you know, visit the website, read about the programs, and of course consider, you know, lacing up and getting ready to join us at Holiday Lanes for Bowl for Kids Sake.
Right, and in terms of volunteers, you say you're looking for more volunteers. What is the commitment that you're looking for to be a big?
Right. So we asked for the community-based program, like the one Danny is involved in right now. We asked for a 1-year commitment. And most of them, we say 2 to 4 outings a month. So it's not a huge amount of time. And really, you know, you do a lot of fun things, just like Danny said, you know, things you probably wouldn't normally do on your own. Maybe you need a young person to do it with. And for the school programs as well, usually the commitment is for the school year, but it's as little as 1 lunch hour a week to be involved with a school program. Right. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity, you know, for people, and just reach out and see if we can accommodate what your lifestyle is.
And Danny, so would you recommend joining as a volunteer to anybody watching?
I would, absolutely. It's been a bit of a life changer for me. I have a younger brother in my family as it is, but he's 30 now and lives in Alberta, so it's been great to reconnect with someone like Nathan. And yeah, I can't speak highly enough about the program and Big Brothers Big Sisters and all they do to support you. Like, you're not just thrown into a relationship and then like good luck. They check in on you. There's calls, there's updates, and all this good stuff to make you feel good and comfortable with your match.
And so if people are interested in attending the Bowl for Kids event, I know I'll be there, but who else, if someone else wants to join, I guess, what does that event look like? How does it work?
So if you want to get a team together, you just need 4 to 6 people. We have different like fundraising events. So there's a community day on Sunday, May 3rd. Anybody can participate in the community day. And then we have corporate events for companies who are out there, and those would be May 1st and 7th. So really, you know, you just need yourself and 3 or 4 other people to join you. You can even become a sponsor. You can just donate, you know. there's all kinds of ways for people to get involved, and we just encourage them to go to the website helpingkids.ca.
Do you have to be good at bowling? Is there like a prerequisite, or can you do the like between the legs, flick it, gutter ball? That's okay?
Absolutely, we see that every year. This is really a fun event, and so some families will come with their kids. You know, again, all ages are welcome. It's a lot of fun. We always say it's not just about the bowling, right? It's about having fun and helping kids at the same time.
And the corporate sponsorships and the corporate teams to come in for the 2 nights on the 1st and the 7th. What does it take, I guess, if you've got a business organization that wants to get involved?
Yeah, well, it's simple, really, because, I mean, you just need a few people in your company to come together to join you for a team. Or if a team is not an option you have, like I said, you could become a sponsor of Bowl for Kids' Sake in various capacities, or just donate on behalf of the company. We don't ask people to fundraise a large amount of money, and we have all kinds of ways to help people raise money as well. So there's lots of opportunity, and we say it is simple, and reach out to find out more information.
And Nathan, are you going to be there? Are you going to bowl?
Probably.
Have you ever bowled before?
Yeah.
Well, maybe you guys can have another little bowling warm-up session, so when you come into Bowl for Kids' Sake, you'll be the pros.
That's right.
And Kelly, you mentioned the school mentorship program. So I just wanted to talk a bit more, if you could, about the programs outside of the flagship program that you offer, and those other types of kind of different programs that people might not be so well aware of.
And that's right. A lot of people don't realize we have 4 programs, actually. So In-School Mentoring is celebrating 20 years, and that takes place in local schools here in Metro St. John's. So it's 1 lunch hour a week. You would visit a child in their school during lunch. You'd be one-on-one, very similar to Danny and Nathan, but maybe you play board games, or you do a craft, you talk. Of course, you have lunch, and you just have involvement during the school year in school. And then we also have group mentoring programs called Go Girls and Game On. And those are 8 sessions, and they're all about being healthy, active, helping kids build their self-esteem and their self-confidence. And those programs, actually, we deliver to about 200 young people every year. So, there's so many opportunities for people to mentor. If you have 1 hour a week or a few hours a month, there's all kinds of opportunity, really, to fit anybody's lifestyle.
Oh, that's incredible. And Kelly, you've been with Big Brothers Big Sisters for a while now. You've seen, a lot of bigs and littles come and go. Are there any kind of stories that touch you? Do you ever see people, maintain that relationship going on longer than the 1-year commitment?
Right. So we're actually celebrating our 45 years in May. Wow. One of the first matches that we ever made, I believe 1978, with a little brother and a big brother, is still going strong today.
No way.
They recently came out and celebrated their 40th anniversary at Bowl for Kids' Sake a couple of years ago as Big and Little Brother. But there's so many of those. We asked for a 1-year commitment, but we know for many it goes on for a lifetime. And I think I've been there 20 years, so for me now, I get the opportunity to see young people who were matched at the age of 7 or 8 coming back as volunteers.
Wow.
So, former little brothers saying, I'm going to give back, become a volunteer myself. So it really is, an organization that I'm passionate about, and we know it's life-changing. And, and there's so much more we can do for kids who need us.
Sure. I love that it comes full circle like that.
Yes.
And those, the people who leave the program, whether they were, or not leave, but, after they've been with it for a while, and they've been either bigs or littles, what kind of things do they say that they took from the program or they learned? What are you looking to achieve through these matches?
Well, we have a new logo, that came out in September, and you'll see it there on the screen. We are all about, coming together to empower young people, to help ignite their potential, and really to set them on a path, to the future. And really, that is what we want to do. We want to help kids become the best that they can be, and to graduate really into success. And we see that, there are so many people who come back that were littles, like I said, and will tell their story of how maybe they wouldn't have gone to university, they wouldn't have had the career they have if they didn't have that person in their life who, helped inspire them and be that person they needed to just, you know, keep them going, to encourage them. And as Danny said, what the volunteers get out of it, sometimes they'll say they feel they can get more from it than the child. They certainly get more than they anticipated when they join the program. And I think, you know, that's the positive thing about mentoring, because we all have mentors in our lives that influence us throughout our whole lives. And so it really is inspiring to see what the program can do.
So it sounds like there's lots of opportunities to get involved, whether it's as a volunteer or as a sponsor or certainly as a participant in Bowl for Kids.
That's right.
Yeah. So one last time, what's the website? So if anyone wants to get involved or participate in the bowling?
Yeah, you can access our Bowl for Kids Aid page right through our website, which is helpingkids.ca. Just click on the top about events and go right to the Bowl for Kids Aid site.
And there's only a few spots left for some of the days, right? So I think there's some urgency.
It's starting to fill up. Maybe we'll have to add another date, but that would be good news if we have to do that. So we will accommodate everyone, and we encourage people just to check it out. And of course, our social media as well.
Perfect. We'll hope to see you guys on the lanes.
Yes.
Thanks again for joining us, and good luck with the event.
Thanks, Melissa.
Be right back with more Out of the Fog.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
All right, girls.
Mom, you said it's played again.
Workplace injuries hurt the most at home.
When my legs get stronger, I want to play basketball, volleyball, I want to run. I was sick when I was a little baby. I had meningitis.
Even after they did the amputations, they said that it was likely he would not make it.
To now, you throw him on that bike and off he goes.
My bike helps me get my legs stronger.
Without the ramps, being able to afford his limbs and devices would be difficult.
Thank you for helping me get around.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Out of the Fog. I'm here with Charlie Murphy, one of the co-founders of Quadrangle. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So what's the mission of Quadrangle? What do you get up to?
So the mission is we are a charitable organization out basically to look and support the 2S LGBTQ plus community, the queer and trans as well, of the province. And we're the only organization with charitable status.
Excellent. So how long has the organization been on the go for, and what have you been up to?
So we incorporated in 2015, but only recently within the last year. So in December 2019, we got our charitable status.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so we've been kind of going very slowly, but pushing along. Yeah, and so in 2015, we got together, a group of us, and kind of looked at it from a provincial scope of realizing there wasn't an organization kind of looking after our demographic of the population. And so we figured we should start up something and just try. We went to the government, we came with business plans, we kind of talked, trying to figure out how we can actually make it happen, and that didn't happen in 2015. So afterwards we figured, you know, it'd be really good for us to kind of just go after charitable status and try to have our own way of doing this. And then, yeah, last year, before the end, just before Christmas and the holidays, we actually got it.
And so what are the goals going forward now that you have your charitable status?
Yeah, so right now we're trying to build our board. So we have a call out for board members until the end of this month, Thursday, March 31st, end of day. So if you can get it in before 12 p.m., that's great. But yeah, just trying to like grow the board so it's strong and stable. And then after that, kind of looking for ways that we can apply for money, so grants, going to the government again and sitting down with the ministers and just trying to figure out like how we can make something happen. And then after that, hopefully getting space that we could have all of our community groups and connections all under one roof. So, you know, the peer support, the choirs, you know, get-togethers, anything that we can kind of host in one space, and then also be a point of contact for the entire province.
Right, so let's talk about this space you're envisioning.
Yeah.
So what I guess, how do you picture a space that would be inclusive and welcoming to everybody in the community, and like you say, involving different organizations? I guess, how do you envision that looking?
Kind of like a regular, just kind of community center. So having a space that's open so people can come and have a coffee and chat. So anyone who's kind of questioning their sexual orientation and just kind of figuring out things to come in and just kind of get a lay of the land and understand, but also at the same time for anyone who's completely aware of who they are to come in and just have a coffee. Having a space for like a library so people can come and get the resources themselves so they don't have to feel like there's any kind of barriers or an individual they have to talk to, but also having a community space that's visible. It's easier to find your community, so you can kind of come to terms and understand who you are a lot quicker than being, by yourself and not knowing where that visible space is. But having a location and a space would allow for a lot of peer support groups to kind of have a reoccurring location where right now a lot of us are constantly looking for space, for choirs to have a space to rehearse or to even have a performance, to have movie nights, to have coffee socials, just a general gathering space so that we can come together as a community and grow as a community.
And what types of programs do you envision running out of there, in addition to like lending out the space to other organizations, but Quadrangle itself?
Well, right now we are mandated under 3 kind of pillars. One is around the communal space that everyone can kind of share, which is like, sharing the whole cost of like rent and power. But then we're also under education, so doing workshops for inside our community and for the greater community at large, just around the LGBTQ, queer and trans individuals and community. And then another one that we're mandated under is unemployment. So there's a lot of individuals in the community who are unemployed and are also homeless. So it's the whole balancing, trying to figure out, helping them with the resumes, helping them with finding safe places to work, because there's not a whole lot when it comes to a network of safe spaces for LGBTQ queer individuals to actually get jobs.
And on that education piece, I think that's such a great idea, because there's a lot of people in our community, and myself included, who have a lot to learn still about the queer and trans community. What types of, things are you hoping that we'd be able to educate people on?
Just the fact that they're like everyday people. There's nothing really different about them, just who they love.
Sure.
And also just around like we still need the same kind of health care, and then there's other health care that we need that straight heterosexual individuals don't need. There's things that impact us around mental health, so like depression's really high, again unemployment's really high, because the concept of feeling excluded and not included has a huge impact on both your physical and mental health.
Absolutely. And on that, obviously there's a need for the center that you're describing and the services that you're hoping to provide. So if anyone's not aware of this, what are some of the barriers? And you've touched on them, but what are the barriers that people in the community are facing?
Sure, so some of those barriers again are like kind of taking away the stigma of both being part of this community and breaking down the barriers around, feeling open and okay to come to terms with it and tell your loved ones and tell your family. As well as coming out to work is a whole other process. So if you don't feel safe coming out to your employer, it kind of puts you in a really awkward situation where you kind of have to tone down who you are potentially, maybe not bring your partner to social events or gatherings. So just kind of breaking down those very basic barriers that everyone doesn't really understand or see if you're not in that community. And then when it comes to the employment side, just realizing that there's a lot of different things around that straight individuals might not have to face. Again, talking about coming out to your employer.
Right. And it's fantastic that you've received charitable status with CRRA, because I know that's quite an ardent process. But now that you're looking for board members, is there anything, specific in terms of skills or background that you're looking for?
Yeah, so we're looking for anyone who has a professional background in being a lawyer, an accountant, marketing, PR, fundraising, event planning, those kind of really high-level skills that generally you would have to hire someone for, but if we have someone on the board, they can kind of guide us in a more constructive way and a sustainable way, that we're not kind of overworking the board, because right now we are a working board. But as we get more individuals in those roles, we hope to kind of become more of a governance board and actually have committees around fundraising and events and grant writing and all those things.
Excellent. And it seems like there's an opportunity for partnership with other organizations in the community for Quadrangle to take. So I know you've kind of touched on some of those before, but how are you planning on working with different organizations already servicing the community?
Yeah, so there's a great group called the Trans Support NL who do these workshops, and we hope to partner with them so that we won't necessarily have to be doing a lot of that work. We can just kind of refer to them, and they can actually potentially just kind of be housed in this center as well, so that we're all kind of chipping in, we're all working together. Again, PFLAG does a lot of peer support. There's a lot of trans support as well with peer support. So like having those individuals come in and kind of be housed. So we're not wanting to duplicate services. We're basically just wanting to bring the community together and have that visible space.
Excellent. And in addition to if someone is, not able to commit as a board member or doesn't maybe have the background that you're looking for in terms of professional abilities, are there other opportunities to volunteer for Quadrangle?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's tons. Like right now, we are looking for board members, but that doesn't mean once we have our board members selected that those committees will then be formed, and you don't have to sit on a board to be on a committee. So we could have a fundraising committee, and anyone who really has a huge passion for fundraising could be on part of that. Or anyone who feels like they just want to help with planning events, they could be part of that committee. Or if there's, once we have our space up, if someone wants to kind of help with just cleaning up or making the space feel welcoming or help painting or like those kind of things, like there's going to be so much opportunity for volunteer work that it's definitely not going to be just strictly the board members.
And what about if there's anybody watching who doesn't identify as queer or trans but wants to be an ally and wants to help with Quadrangle? Are there opportunities for that as well?
Oh, for sure. Again, our board members do not have to be part of the community. That's not part of our mandate. But as long as they're an ally, we welcome anyone to kind of help and support. Feel free to share our website. Feel free to share where you can donate, because we're all part of Canada Helps. So you can go to their website. You can just donate as much as you want. Tell people about us, so that if there's someone in your life that you think maybe needs it, just so that they know they're not alone.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and I can't wait to see the community center.
Yeah.
Be right back with more Out of the Fog.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Thanks for watching Out of the Fog. And thank you so much to Charlie Murphy for coming in and telling us all about Quadrangle and the important work that they're doing. And thanks again to Kelly Leach, the Executive Director of Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and to Danny and Nathan for explaining to us the fun and the excitement, but also the importance of being a big brother and a little brother. So be sure to sign up for Bowl for Kids' Sake, happening in May here in St. John's, and get all the information on the Big Brothers Big Sisters Eastern Newfoundland Labrador's website. So thanks for watching, and thanks to our guests, and we'll see you next time on Out of the Fog.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us,